God, this one looks.
Welcome back to the broadcast of the hometown Minutemen and Elkins. We are live on top of the hill here at the football field on the grounds of LCHS for this Big Ten Conference matchup. The Tigers have started off their season hot with a 2-0 start, and they racked up some wins against Lincoln and Moorfield. The Minutemen not so hot as they started their season 0-2, but this is their first home game, hoping to swing the momentum here tonight. I'm Zane Stewart alongside
Brody Skinner.
and this is a Route 33 rivalry game, so expect some passion in this one and definitely don't rule out anything till the last minutes of the game. All right, as we get ready for kickoff here in just a few seconds, I had the pleasure of talking to both head coaches here. A lot of you guys probably know the Minutemen team pretty well, but I talked to the Elkins coach, and some of his players to watch were all three of their running backs. Number 11, Hatfield. Number 2, Robinson. Number 15, Beam. This team is going to try to kill you on the run game. And if they can establish a run game early, if they can be dominant at the line of scrimmage, there's not too many teams in the state that can keep up with them. So it's going to be a key for this Minutemen defense to really disrupt that run game, getting in their lanes, and not letting them win the battle at the line of scrimmage. It's a squid kick there for Aiden Oldacre as it'll be fielded by Elkins around the 25. He's heading up, and he'll stall out and tackled and going down around the 36-yard line. Tonight's student section theme is neon. Still some students rolling in, but we've already got a pretty good turnout. As you can see, they're bright colors. They're wearing all of the construction vests, pinks and greens and orange. Looks like a fun time over there, right, Brody?
Yep, for sure. Neon theme tonight for the student section.
But they're not having all the fun. I think we're having a little bit too.
Yes, 100%.
And here's the first look at the Elkins offense. First carry is going to Logan Beam, and he'll pick up around 4 on that one. Now, over the course of 2 games, Elkins has only thrown the ball twice. However, they've thrown for decently efficient both times they've decided to do it. Not really any explosive plays, but good enough, no loss of yards, and both of them were completions. Their quarterback, of course, and you'll see him under center now, is none other than Swarwayne. And this time it's a handoff to Hatfield. Hatfield drug down, and he'll go down with about 3 yards short of the marker. Now, Jaden Hatfield, as me and Brody both know from being track athletes, this kid is fast.
Yes.
He's a transfer from South Harrison, but man, was he quick on the track. Curious to know how well that's going to relay on the football field. Definitely not the same type of running.
Yeah.
But he's quick.
Yeah. It'll definitely help them a lot for sure. And I definitely think if the Minutemen want to win this game, they're going to have to be able to tackle very efficiently tonight.
Here's the snap. They're running it to the outside. It's Beam again. He's got the first down and more, and he'll be drugged down just short of their own 40-yard line. They are in enemy territory now.
Speaking of Logan Beam, he is a transfer from Philip Barber.
Yeah, that's something worth noting. All 3 of the players to watch, Robinson, Hatfield, and Beam, were all transfers from Clay County, South Harrison, and Philip Barber, respectively. So definitely some new faces here for these Tigers. They graduated their elite running back Bowers, and they have found some replacements. And that's Hatfield turning it up the field, getting to the sideline, and that's going to look to be good for 5.
There is that track speed we were talking about earlier from Jaden Hatfield. Most running backs would not be able to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play, and he was able to turn that for positive yards.
One concern I have for maybe this Minutemen defense is tackling in space. I talked to Coach Koger before the game, and he said that one of his keys to win was to tackle better on defense. They worked on it in practice, and I'm sure that they did improve. But tackling Jaden Hatfield in the open field, that's another. And that'll be a free snap penalty. Lewis County fans already clapping. I think they're assuming it's going to be offsides on the offense, and it will. That'll back the Elkins offense up to a 1st and 15.
Are we good now?
Sorry, a little quick technical difficulty with our mics there for a second. But the infamous Caden Smith was quick to fix. All right, same problem. Turns out one of our cords were a little loose. I think we've got it fixed now. Either way, that was a run from Robinson there, getting the Elkins first down. They're bouncing it to the outside now with Beam, and he's going to take that one to the house for the first score tonight. Elkins touchdown as they jump to an early 6-0 lead.
Yeah, great run there by Beam, being able to just maneuver around everyone and just score that touchdown.
And I think this was a good summary drive of what from what we knew going into the game,
Yes.
from what we knew going into the season, and from what the coach confirmed earlier today. And that's that this backfield has 3 heads, and they are going to try to use all of them. That is being Robinson, Hatfield, and Beam. And we saw all of them break for their own first down runs.
Yeah.
I mean, Robinson got the glory there with or Beam rather got the glory there with getting to tag it in, but
yeah. They are a 3-headed monster there in the backfield. And that, like you said, that drive just really sums up what Elkins wants to do tonight. Just run it down our throats.
And they will lift the uprights there for the point after touchdown. And if you're Lewis County, you cannot let that opening drive, you cannot let your head go down. They obviously, Elkins came in and did what they wanted to do on the first drive. I mean, that is their ideal drive, and that run the ball and run it efficiently. But Lewis County, I mean, one defensive thing cannot define a game. So curious to know how well they can keep their morale and how fast they can come back and just keep their head in the ball game. That is one thing that some of the players have voiced their opinions were in Kaiser. Morale got a little bit low before they were really out of it. And so it's going to be a key in tonight's game, just keeping the players engaged.
100%. Have to be mentally in it. The game is not won in the first quarter, and it's certainly not won on the first drive. So just have to stay mentally focused, Not the greatest defensive drive we wanted, but we just have to bounce back.
That was beautifully said, Birdie.
Thank you.
Elkins getting prepared to kick it off for their first kickoff, and set back to return is Aiden Oldacre, number 5, and Ian Brown, number 11. Kick's underway, and they'll keep it on the ground, too. It goes over
Whip
Leo's
kick.
head, and it'll be fielded by Brown around the 20-yard line. Looking to turn up the field, and he's drugged down around the 35, a little bit shy of it. We'll call it the 33.
Yeah. Definitely a little scary there for the Minutemen, but luckily Ian Brown there was able to recover the ball and still get it up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, in all seriousness, the play looked a little bit smoother than maybe it really was. Ian Brown, that ball was over his head, and he brings it down with one hand and able to turn some yards and positive. But kickoff can be a scary thing. You get a hand on that ball and then not able to recover it, and then you've already gave Elkins the ball in the red zone with a chance to go up 14-0. So definitely a big play there by Ian, not letting that ball get past him. Low snap. Jones will find it. He'll find Moats out on the outfield, and that'll go for about a 5-yard gain, my guess. This is something new that we've seen kind of this year for the Lewis County offense, and that's been the revamped passing game.
Yes.
Under Eli Jones, he's a second-year quarterback going into his junior year, and Lewis County has not been afraid to sling the ball around.
Yeah.
Curious to know how much they're going to resort to that today. And the second play will be a handoff to none other than Leo Jones.
Yeah, as you mentioned about the new revamped passing, Lewis County for as long as I can remember. Wait, are we good? As long as I can remember, Lewis County, they have been a run-first team. But this year, it's looking a little different. So we'll see how that kind of plays out for this team this year.
They lost a lot of skill in terms of seniors last year, as Maddox Gillespie is now playing for the Glenville State Pioneers. Owen Accord and Alex Goodwin and Garrett Smith all graduated. And Eli dropping back again. He's got his tight end, but he'll drop it on the sideline. That is one of our transfers, Kellen Wolverton. Levi Posey. Sorry. And that will bring up 4th and 2. They are going to punt. It's Aiden Oldaker with the boot today. But as I was mentioning, with the loss of all those seniors, you've seen a shift in roles as we've had Levi Posey come over, who's been a receiver option, played a little bit tight end. And a punt's blocked by
That
Elkins.
punt is blocked. Who will get to it? It's Lewis County will cover, but that's going to be a red zone opportunity for Elkins.
And Elkins is going to be getting the ball at the 15-yard line. Dangerous field territory. Minutemen defense is going to need a big stand here.
Yeah, not good at all. Poor blocking there, and it leads to now what could potentially be a very good Elkins touchdown.
But as I was mentioning with all the seniors and Goodwin and Bethany and Maddox and Glenville State, you've seen some shifting stuff around. But one of the biggest shifts is Leo Jones coming in and assuming kind of that fullback role that we've seen a lot of times for Alex Goodwin, as you saw him on the laugh drive, get a few handoffs. So definitely something to look at if you're a Minutemen's fan, and that's
Logan Beam.
Logan Beam. It had to be one of the three.
It had to be one of the three in that three-headed monster for Elkins.
He'll pick up 7 on that first down run, and that gives you a pretty good situation on second down. It's really, what do you want to do here? I think we both know Elkins wants to run.
Yes. Unless they throw in some trick play, but they've only thrown the football twice up to this point, so I guess we'll see here.
Well, they've got all 3 running backs in the backfield. And the handoff goes to Hatfield. Hatfield trying to make a guy miss, and he does. Breaks 2 tackles.
Tackle and
He's
a
in for
touchdown.
the second touchdown of tonight's game. Elkins up to 13-0 lead, and man, determined running there by Hatfield. I mean, I thought he was going to get wrapped up, maybe 1 yard to no yard gain there, and he breaks through a 2-defender tackle, able to get in the gap there, and well done by Hatfield as he punches one in to extend the Elkins lead.
Yeah, I think the defense honestly thought he was wrapped up, and then he somehow was able to slither his way by the defender.
So, Brody, with you being a pretty darn good track star, how much does your track speed and explosiveness correlate to being able to get through tackles?
Oh, it definitely matters a lot. I think, especially in football too. I mean, the ability to not only be really fast but also built really strong. It's just really hard to be able to, bring guys down and in open field, as you mentioned. It's really difficult to tackle, and I think it's definitely going to help Jaden Hatfield tonight.
Minutemen back to the getting ready to receive the ball here, but I found this interesting stat. I don't remember if it was you or Caden. I believe Caden told me, and that's that Elkins has not punted the ball all year so far.
Huh.
They've either scored or turned the ball over, but mostly been scoring as they've been putting up around 40 or more points on each of their last two opponents. Now, it is worth noting that their two opponents that they've played have a combined record of 0-2.
Yes.
So we don't know if those teams we're playing are just off to a slow start, or if maybe they were playing, or maybe they were just playing so an easier schedule at the beginning of the season. Either way, not having punted the ball once is an incredible stat for a team, and I'm sure they're looking to continue to that tonight, and I'm sure the Minutemen are eager to break their streak.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a very aggressive team for sure. Here comes the kick.
That one a live drive, also to Ian Brown's side. He'll pick it up. He's past the 20. He's got room. He's at 40, 50, with no one there. It's a foot race. Can 24 catch him? Ian Brown evading him, and he'll take him down at the 10-yard line. That is the explosive play this Minutemen offense was needing, as they are in deep red zone position now after the immaculate return by Ian Brown.
That is exactly what you want to see for Lewis County. It's tough, going down 14-0, but like I said, they have to stay mentally in it if they want to have a chance in this ball game. And that right there, definitely a confidence booster.
Not to mention just the roar of the crowd. Man, that got them into it. Crowd on their feet, yelling, the band's playing. That was something that this crowd and this team that was just a boat of life right there by Ian Brown. That was spectacular. As they're now in the red zone, it's Jones. The handoffs to Moats, and he'll be tackled around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great tackle there by the edge rushers of Elkins.
Well, your score with 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter, Lewis County 0, Elkins 14. But Minutemen looking to change that on this drive. Great field position. Definitely going to be trying to capitalize.
Yeah, red zone opportunity here. Definitely striking distance for the Lewis County Minutemen.
Curious to know if they try to throw on this second down. I wouldn't be surprised, and they do. It's Jones rolling out. He's got his target, and that's
almost intercepted.
That fell into the lap of Jaden Hatfield. Jones is lucky he did not hold on to that one. They're going to get an extra attempt here on third down. The intended target appeared to be Garrett Moats. So just talking about this Elkins offense, because we've already seen two well put together drives, and at Lincoln they won 54-21, and against Moorfield they won 45-6. So this Elkins team isn't really a stranger to putting up some points on the board.
Yeah, that run there was absolutely stuffed by the Elkins D line there. Well, it's curious to see what Lewis County is going to do.
Tough to watch a drive stall out after the explosive play given to you by Ian Brown on special teams, and it appears that they're going to be going for the field goal. Now, Aiden Oldacre has got a leg on him. Former soccer player, played for most of his life, and both his freshman and sophomore year of high school. This is his first year not playing soccer, but he still has the leg on him. Snap, fumbled a little bit. They got it through, and Aiden splits the uprights. And Minutemen are on the board now with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Your score, 3-14. Aiden Oldacre back onto the field to boot it away for the second time tonight. Both teams have been on kickoff twice so far. Aiden keeping this one on the ground too. Curious to know if they're trying to keep it out of the hands of Hatfield potentially. And after a few rubbed off tackles, he'll be down inside the 30-yard line around the 28. Minutemen defense could really use a stop here.
Yeah.
As much as they were able to get that explosive special teams play and they were able to get the field goal, putting them on the board, their offense has still gone 3 and out. Both drives. So, if you're the defense here, you got to bail out your offense and give them some time to find their legs.
Yeah, definitely for the Minutemen. I feel like defense is going to really decide this game. If the Minutemen can get some stops on defense, like you said, they could definitely have a chance here to win this ball game.
Hand off to Beam, and he's got the first down, and he'll be stopped just shy of the 45. So something that me and Birdie both noticed. Birdie noticed it as soon as he got here. For me, it took me just probably 15 minutes of staring at it, kind of confused. Our logo at the center field is usually all blue. It's usually a giant blue LC. As you can see tonight, the L and the C both outlined in gray. Flags on the field as they drag down Robinson after a 5-yard game. But Birdie, just curious to hear your thoughts. With the new logos, the 50, what are you thinking?
I honestly like it for sure. I mean, I feel like it adds some more flair to just the normal blue LC.
I 100% agree. The Elkins offense had a false start. That penalty was declined. Elkins offense also had a holding. That penalty was accepted, and that'll bring up 1st and 20. So Elkins now looking at 1st and 20, and time left in the first quarter is 3 minutes 43 seconds. Definitely not something I think Elkins is afraid of, though. These 1st and 20s, a lot of yards to gain in just 3 plays, but man, they can be explosive at times. And they're giving it to Mr. Explosive himself. It's Hatfield looking for the sideline. Great stop by the Minutemen defense. Corralling them, pushing them, and using the out of bounds as an extra man on the field. And he'll only pick up 3 or 4 on the run.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Elkins is a very aggressive team. They have yet to punt this year. So if it does end up being a 4th down, you got to think that more likely they're going to go for it.
With as much strength as they have in their backfield, I would be kind of... Now, granted, I don't know if Elkins has ever ran this, but I think it'd be funny to see a direct snap to the halfback or a direct snap to the fullback and tush push.
Yes.
I definitely feel like they have the team to do it. And in the backfield before the snap. And that'll go down as a loss of around 4 yards. They're bringing up 3rd and a mile. Big time play and big time stand by the defense here at Lewis County. I believe 72 is Danner Groves.
Yeah, correct. Danner Groves. Yeah, definitely great tackle for loss there for Danner Groves. That forces 3rd and 21 for the Elkins Tigers.
And they're passing. This is only the 3rd time they've seen it this season. And they find Bean and out. He makes 2 guys miss. 3 guys miss, turning upfield and drugged down after he gets the 1st down. He'll take it to the 40-yard line. And that's what I meant. This pass game isn't always the most explosive. That more explosive than maybe their previous, but they can be efficient when they throw the football, and they turn a 3rd and 20, which looked like a Minuteman was going to force a punt, and to now a 1st and 10, and enemy in their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that Lewis County was not expecting the pass there, and I think Lewis County's defense, they thought Logan Beam stepped out of bounds, but he didn't, and it's 1st and 10 for Elkins.
I corrected myself on that time, and I corrected myself to the wrong one. They're in enemy territory now, not their own 40. I apologize. An efficient first down run will give them what appears to be either 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 2. Pre-action snap is Hatfield, and they'll hand it to Beam. Beam looking to cut inside. He does. He's got the first down and more. Drugged down inside the 20-yard line, and Elkins looking like they're getting ready to score again, which is something that Lewis County defense dreads to hear, but that close to having a stop, and now it's momentum has completely swung the other way in favor of Elkins.
Yeah, they can't let that one run get into their head. They need a big stop. They definitely want to look for a tackle for loss here just to get some momentum back on their side.
Beam goes out, and wide up is wide out, and they're running a pitch. Shifts to Hatfield. Beam picks up a block. Jaden bouncing outside.
Arm.
He's inside.
And it's a touchdown.
Incredible run there by Jaden Hatfield. Several people miss, a broken tackle, and his ability to push the ball outside. I mean, it's a pitch. He's obviously going to be heading for that sideline, but bouncing it back in there and dodging that safety, that is what got him the touchdown there. And great vision by Jaden Hatfield.
Yeah, definitely want to credit the stiff arm there by Jaden Hatfield. Absolutely just shoving over the defender to score the touchdown here.
And with 36 seconds left in the first quarter, Elkins is an extra point away from taking a 21-3 lead. And with a clean snap and a good kick, they will do just that. 36 seconds left and 21-3 is your score here at Lewis County High School. Now, curious to know, do you think they're going to be kicking the ball to the opposite side, trying to get it away from Ian Brown after that last return that was 10 yards away from being deadly?
I definitely think they have to take a little bit more notice. I mean, if Ian Brown just had a step or two on the defender, it would have been a touchdown there. So I definitely agree with you there. They're definitely going to be looking to possibly kick it away from him.
The student section is cheering for us. They haven't given up hope, and neither of the fans here. They believe that this is still something that is winnable for the Minutemen. Even though they find themselves down early. Did you know, Birdie? And I say, did you know? But I know that you know because you're the one that got the statistic for me. Each of the past 3 years, the winner of this game has gone on to win the Route 33 rivalry between Elkins, Lewis County, and Buchanan Upshur. And so with 2024 going to the Elkin Tigers and 2023 and 2022 going to the Minutemen, this game seems to be the one that has been deciding it in previous years.
Yeah, I mean, unless Buchanan could possibly shock some people this year, possibly get a rivalry win between Elkins or Lewis County, more than likely it's going to look like the winner of this game is going to win the Route 33 rivalry.
And this is our first kick that's gone into the air that we've seen, and they are not giving it to Aiden Side. They're giving it to Garrett Moats, but he's just as explosive. Banging off of defenders, and he'll get it down just shy of the 50. Minutemen looking at good field position for yet another drive. They really need to find their feet here on offense.
Yeah, I definitely think Lewis County, they're at least looking strong here on special teams here, at least returning the football.
Football's a very complimentary game. If the defense is doing good, that can give all the momentum to the offense to do good, and it gives them time to do good, and vice versa. If the offense is doing well, it gives the defense time to step up their game. It's not always the same in other sports. As in basketball, your defense can become part of your offense if you have a good enough defense. So even if your offense is slow, you can rely on more fast transition stuff. But football, you really need both sides of the ball to be working at all times, and you need one side to be able to pick up the slack for another when one's not performing well. So a score here, maybe giving their defense just a breath of fresh air.
Try to fix it. Defensively, we just let their explosive players get too explosive there in the backfield, and we just have to be able to tackle their running backs. And honestly, I think offensively, we've got to get something going. We've seen for at least the past like 5 runs, the run game hasn't gone hardly anywhere. So I definitely think we need to start spreading out the playbook a little bit more and possibly throwing the football a little more if it works.
Yeah, I'm curious to know maybe how the offense looks different. I expect maybe a few subtle changes. Getting the passing game back on their feet would be very nice for the Minutemen offense. That's something that's worked for them. So far, we've got one completion, a drop pass, and a dropped interception. So right now, throwing the ball, we're 1 for 3. But this team has the potential to be explosive with that. That's something we saw against RCB and their season opener. First game of AAA, actually, playing on Thursday. And they're doing just that. It's Eli Jones dropping back, and they've got a full rush. And Eli looking, he'll scramble, turning it upfield for around a 3 or 4 yard gain. And definitely the right call there. Not pulling the trigger, not trying to make,
Yeah.
I know for a lot of times high school quarterbacks, they got a lot of pressure on them, but you don't need to be Superman in that situation. You don't need to save the day on 1st and 10 with good field position. Getting that simple 3 or 4 yard run, that is being Superman.
Yeah.
That is what the team needed right there. My correction, it was 2nd down, but either way,
3rd down.
correct play. Yeah, I said correction and then said the same thing twice. Rolling out the pass again. Pass rush coming, and he's lobbing it up and out of bounds. That'll be an incompletion, and the Elkins defense will force yet another 3 and out for this Minutemen offense.
Yeah, Jones definitely felt the pressure there. You got to think that the O-line definitely needs to start blocking a little better. We've seen him under pressure in the pass game, and really the run game hasn't gone anywhere. So you got to think it could be an offensive line issue.
Yeah, just as we were talking about earlier about this being a game of it's a complimentary game. I mean, that's same exact way, the quarterback's not having much time in the pocket. That's why we've seen he was forced to run and get what he could on the passing down in 2nd. They go back to the air on 3rd, and he did not have time for the plays to develop. No fair catch called, and Jane Hatfield makes 3 people miss now to cutting it back inside, stumbles on his own player, and taken down shy of the 30.
Yeah, great hit there. And as Zane mentioned earlier, I definitely, as the game goes on, definitely agree with this. The game will definitely be won on the line of scrimmage. And I definitely think if the Minutemen can't win that battle, that Elkins is just going to keep doing what they want to do here.
Just going back to some of that stuff, their keys to win for Elkins were, of course, control the line of scrimmage. And if I'm being quite honest, that's exactly what they've done this game. They've ran the ball the way they've wanted to run the ball, and the pass rush has hit home when they need it. Lewis County, their keys to win were tackle better on defense. They said that was something they worked on a lot in practice, and they're not tackling bad, but man, Jaden Hatfield has been able to make some guys miss today. And you'll have that with a guy who runs a sub 11 a second 100. Is that correct, Brody?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's some crazy fast time. So you have to expect some missed tackles, but you're going to have to maybe clean that up just a hair. They also mentioned sustained drives, no 3 and outs. That's what they were preaching this week for the Minutemen offense. And so far, 3 and outs have been all we've seen. So definitely looking to get their offense back on its feet. They're definitely capable of it. We've seen how explosive they can be from time to time. And it's a handoff, this time to Robinson with room. He's got a 1st down and spinning for probably an extra 10 yards there.
Great spin move.
Yeah, way to just keep on your feet and just battle for every inch, as that'll give them a 1st down with under 11 minutes now in the half.
Here, I mean, they're definitely putting a running clank on, and this is exactly what Elkins wants. So we, as Lewis County, we cannot let Elkins play their game. And if we play their game, then it's going to be very dangerous for the Lewis County Minutemen tonight.
Yeah, it's all about controlling what you want to do rather than, even if it's the same thing, For instance, I'm going to go ahead and assume that both of these coaches want to control the line of scrimmage, and being able to impose your will is really key, and have them tackled right at the line of scrimmage,
great
and he
tackle
may
there.
have leaned down for a few, and we got a flag on the play. Curious to know what that call is going to go on. They're discussing it right now as we speak, and we're going to have, I believe, defensive holding.
Yeah.
That will be the call, I believe, and that'll give Elkins an automatic first down inside the 25-yard line. So now looking at yet another red zone attempt for this Elkins offense, and they've been perfect thus far.
Three for three.
I
Yeah,
mean,
3 for 3 in the red zone tonight. So definitely want to keep them out of there.
a lot of pre-snap motion there as they flip the side and they're running a pitch to Robinson. Robinson tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Nice play there.
Yeah, great tackle there. That's exactly what the Lewis County defense wants, not letting them gain any yards and just a nice tackle for loss there.
Yeah, yards after contact we've seen is something that this team can feed off of, this Elkins offense. And so making sure you tackle them at the line of scrimmage and tackling them at first contact, that can a lot of times be the difference between a successful and unsuccessful drive. And he'll run up the gut and brought down now after what appears to be around a 4-yard gain. And I'm getting word that it was a personal foul, which would explain why it went for 15, not a defensive holding. I don't know why I thought it was defensive holding, but I guess I need to learn my signals a little bit better. We have a personal foul, and that is what has prolonged and gave them the field position that they're in now. However, looking at a third down here, this could be huge right here if the Minutemen offense could get off their, or Minutemen defense could get off their feet, forcing a,
Most likely false start.
and it's going to be on the offense. That'll back it up, making the third down even longer. And that's what the Minutemen need right here. A great chance here to get off their feet, force the field goal. And honestly, for high school, that is one long field goal. So
Yes.
potentially making a complete stop and getting the ball back for your offense.
Yeah, 100%. This is a very big third down for Lewis County. Haven't really got a stop all day on third down, so they need this stop here.
And they're running a pitch, and it's Bean, and he's drug out of bounds, and I'm going to say they're going to spot that short of the yard mark to gain, and they are. He appears to be around a yard short, and it's going to be fourth down in a yard or fourth down and maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, it definitely seems like these type of pitch plays are really working for the Elkins. They have as you said, very explosive guys, and they're trying to get them open space in the backfield. And once they can do that, man, it has been very difficult for this Lewis County team to tackle. But here, first fourth down, can Lewis County get a stop here?
I like this call by Elkins saying, we've ran the ball great today. Stop us on fourth down. Minutemen defense looking and needing a stop here, and he'll be tackled, and it looks like they don't have it. Waiting on the spot. Where are they going to spot the ball is the question. And my guess is they're going to be bringing out the chain gang to measure this one.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be close.
We don't really have an angle to tell if that looks like it's going to be short or if it's good. So if me and Brody are guessing wrong and they don't even bring out the chains, we apologize, but our angle's only as good as it's going to get. And here they come bringing out the markers. And they've got it by the whole football. That'll be a first down, Tigers.
Yeah, just brutal play there for the Lewis County Minutemen. They almost got the stop on the Elkins Tigers, but unfortunately for Elkins, they got the first down. And shout out to Caden Smith for giving us that shot to tell whether or not they got the first down or not.
So it's back to work for the Elkins offense. That time, handoff to Beam, and he'll be brought down. Correction, Hatfield got the handoff. He'll be brought down after a gain of 4. High school football is always fun because in the NFL, if they're good at running the ball, you load the box, right? And then if they're better at passing it, you go 2 high safeties or something. And he's in for yet another Elkins touchdown. That
Beam.
one attributed to Beam, as he will advance this game to 3-27 with 7 minutes and 22 left in the half. But what I was mentioning about the box is NFL, if they're a better passing team, you maybe run a 2 high safety. Or they're better running, you maybe load the box. Well, with high school football, running being the predominant, you never really have to load the box because it's always loaded.
Yeah.
Especially against this Elkins team, who is one heck of a team when it comes to running the football, as that is now their 4th rushing touchdown in the first half with 7 minutes to go. And he'll split the uprights on that one for a 4th time, and that'll take the Tigers to a 25-point lead in this one. The score being Minutemen 3, Tigers 28. When asking Coach Koger about his key players of tonight's game, when I asked Elkins, they list their 3 running backs. But when I asked Coach Koger, he gave me an answer I haven't heard from a head coach ever. An answer I really liked. He said when all the key players were all the ones in blue, and I really liked that. And being down 25 points in the first half, if you ask anybody here in this crowd, who's it going to take to get us back in the game? The answer simply is all the ones in blue.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely a team effort. Not really any star players on this loose kind of team, just a lot of great ones. And they're going to need to get something here if they want to have any chance at this game.
Football is 110% a team sport, and they're going to need a team effort here to close the gap. Elkins putting their first ball into the air, and it will be recovered by Ian Brown late at around the 5-yard line, looking to make some people miss. And he'll be stopped just after the 20-yard line, I'd say around the 23. Not the greatest field position Lewis County's seen tonight, but not bad either.
Yeah. Elkins coming into this game, according to Metro News, was ranked 8th in AAA. And as of right now, they're really showing why they are in the top 10 right now for AAA.
Yeah, and I think AAA is going to be one of the most competitive classes when it comes time for that high school football playoffs. Last year, we kind of seen Bridgeport run away with it. No one really got super close to them. Bridgeport lost a lot of talent. I don't think they're as good as they were last year. But you have teams like Princeton who's stepping up and asking for, hey, can the spotlight be on me this year? I believe North Marion's a better team than they were last year, and this Elkins team could be sneaky good. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a deeper run in the playoffs than they did last year, which last year their first round was against Herbert Hoover, which if you guys don't know or don't remember, was last year's runner-up. They lost to Bridgeport in the state championship, so definitely not an embarrassing loss there for them.
Yeah, definitely talking about AAA teams that definitely have a shot. As you mentioned, Hoover was a runner-up, and I definitely think they have a great chance at making it to the Final Four and possibly to the championship this year.
I mean, there's several teams down south. I mean, don't sleep on Hoover, and don't sleep on Nitro, and don't sleep on Capital. All these guys, every team in AAA last year was kind of in Bridgeport's shadow. Bridgeport never lost a game. They had a lot of attention on them, and they went through and showed why they deserved that attention in last year's playoffs. This year, there's a lot of AAA teams, and they're saying, hey, this is our year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I watched that Fairmont Senior game against Robert C. Byrd, and I know that Fairmont Senior definitely lost a lot of key players as well, such as Bridgeport, but they played RCB very, very well.
And it's Jones rolling to his left. And he's turning it, rushing, and big hit on the sideline there. But he'll pick up around, I'd say, 4 yards. And 4th and short is the situation we're in now. And I'm curious to know if the offense will stay on the field or if the punt team will come back out.
Yeah, just what a hit there by the defense there.
And it believes the punt unit will be going in now. Them and in all seriousness, that's turning into points. Last time they got it around the 10-yard line and they punched it in. This time, a little bit further back, they're getting it around the 25. But I mean, if I'm Lewis County, I don't want the Elkins Tigers getting the ball at the 25.
Yeah,
this team is too good and too physical for them to be that close to the end zone at the start of the drive. And that's Robinson, and he's got the outside, and he's down or around, not down. He went out of bounds, and he'll go out around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, definitely. I think that something that most likely will be preached at halftime is definitely blocking. And especially as you mentioned, that's another block punt that could possibly lead to an Elkins touchdown here. So you got to think they have to start preaching that if they want to have any chance.
And of course, we always have our 12th man on the field, the cheerleaders there. They're definitely, and I'm not going to say they're the sole reason that the student section gets on their feet, but they're always encouraging them to keep their heads in it. It's pretty full student section tonight. They're filling up most of the bleachers in their given area, but it's always good to have the cheerleaders just helping them, keeping the crowd into it, because we all know home field advantage is a thing for a reason. And a lot of that being the crowd. However, I'd like to bring up that Lewis County has a very unique kind of home field advantage. Every school in the Big Ten has turf. The exception is Lewis County. Now, a lot of people at our school want turf, and I'm starting to think that maybe I'm opposed to getting turf now. We kind of have a unique advantage. When you come to Lewis County High School, you have to play on grass, and the traction of grass and just the feel and the when you're cutting inside and outside, it's all different. And that will be Beam taking it in yet again as they will extend their lead once more. Elkins Tigers, not afraid to share the ball, as we've seen. Those 3 backs have been having themselves a night. And they will go up 34-3 with an extra point on the way with 6 minutes left in the half. But if the turf could give us, or if having grass instead of turf give us any at all advantage of just being used to grass where other teams might be used to turf, I definitely think it's at least worth considering the keeping of grass.
Yeah, there's definitely, as you mentioned, definitely a home field advantage for Lewis County. Not many teams now are used to playing on turf. And Elkins, I know recently they got a completely new track, a completely new turf field a couple years back, and you definitely got to think that this is definitely could affect some things. Now tonight, it really hasn't, but at the end of the day, Zane's definitely right on the fact that I believe that grass definitely affects at least some part of the game.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, what is your thoughts on that new Elkins complex? We both had the ability to run on that track last year. Um, it was a nice track, but I mean, no one's times really reflected. I mean, was it cold? Absolutely. Um, That was probably one of the coldest ones we went to, not even because of the temperature, just because of the constant rain.
Yeah, it was constantly raining and cold. It was absolutely brutal, that whole race. But I do have to say, in terms of at least the feel of the track, it definitely was one of the best tracks, at least in the Big Ten, and at least I've ran on, compared to most tracks I've ran on. I definitely like the track, for sure.
So, Bertie, I'll go ahead and share mine, but I was curious to know what yours was. My favorite track ever ran on has to be North Marion, and we do have stopped. It's going to be a false start on the kicking team. But what, Bertie, what is your favorite track you've ever ran on?
Yeah, oh, that's that's definitely an interesting one for me. As you mentioned, as Zane mentioned, North Marion. That's definitely a track that I like. We as a 4x8 last year were able to get second all time in school history, and are definitely looking to try and possibly break that this year. Hopefully, it's on that track. But for me, I think that my personal favorite track that I've ran so far in my high school career, I really do like Charleston's track. They got it down at Laidley Field. They got it refurbished, and me and Zane ran the Tudor's Biscuit relays there, and it was a very fun meet.
Yeah, I agree. And that one's going right to Brown's chest, and he's got time to run, and they will make contact and bring him down shy of the 40-yard line. So just under 6 minutes left to go in the half, and if you're Lewis County, you need a score here.
Yeah.
You need to find a way to get that ball in the end zone. And if I'm the coach and it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 on this drive, we're going for it.
Yeah, I definitely think at any cost necessary that this Lewis County team definitely needs something to work.
Well, you've got Luke Burkhammer as receiver lined up at the top of your screen, and at the bottom of your screen, you've got Eli, or not Eli, sorry, Eli's the quarterback, Ian Brown, and that's exactly who Eli will target, as he'll catch and get shoved out of bounds, and they're going to rule no catch. I believe Ian dropped it after he had been hit out of bounds. And similar look here with Leo in the backfield, and they'll hand it to Leo. Leo gets a little bit of room, and he's drugged down past the 45. Looking around a 3rd and 4 situation now for the Minutemen offense. Eli will take the snap, and he'll hand it right back off to his brother Leo. And it appears he's got the first down. And Caden can correct me if I'm wrong, but that'll be the first down of the night for the Minutemen, will it not? I believe so. No one's correcting me, so that's what we're going to go with. I'm sure somebody will if I'm wrong. But with that being said, let's say hypothetically this Minutemen offense really does get on their feet here in this um in this drive. Are you at all concerned of the time? Are you worried about not having enough time? Are you worried about giving Elkins the ball with too much time? Are you worried about anything like that? And Eli will have to throw it out of bounds, really nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, I definitely think you got to definitely be wary of the clock there. You definitely don't want to give Elkins too much time because, I mean, from what I've seen so far, Elkins has pretty much got the ball and scored in pretty fast time now. But at the same time, I think for the Lewis County team, you just have to take it uh, one first down at a time. Definitely take it one down at a time. Don't think of really anything else. You just need something here. And I'm hoping that that third down conversion bring some momentum to this squad.
Yeah, it's going to be another handoff to Leo, who's getting wrestled but refusing to go down. And and he will get stopped, though, right around the line of scrimmage, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 10. Yeah, I was going to say that if you're Lewis County, you really don't care about the clock. 4 minutes, if you're going to score, is more than enough time to score. Plus, you can't really worry about giving Elkins too much time. All you can afford to worry about is yourself scoring.
Yeah.
And on top of all that, Elkins is such a run-heavy team. They have their 3 timeouts, but, I mean, running the ball, as we know, just eats up the clock. So, Lewis County actually using their first timeout here, second timeout here. Probably a good call. This is a big 3rd down here. They need to get a 1st down right here, keep this drive alive. And if they don't get the 3rd down, they're in a situation where this is the area of the field that coaches really do like going for it on 4th. So if you don't get it here on 3rd down, you got to get it close to that marker.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a very big timeout for the Minutemen just to kind of, get focused and just really hear what the coach has to say here on 3rd down and hopefully no mistakes here from the Minutemen.
And it's Jones dropping back to pass, firing deep, and right off the hands of Moats there. That could have been a big connection downfield. Instead, we're looking at 4th and 10, and it's going to be the punt unit coming back out for the Minutemen.
Yeah, definitely a big missed opportunity there for the Minutemen. It seemed like it was right in Moats' hands, and unfortunately, he could not haul that ball in, and now it's another punt for the Lewis County Minutemen.
Yeah, I mean, hauling those in on route where the DB's breathing on your neck, I mean, much easier said than done there. And that will, sadly, though, force another punt for the Minutemen. And getting a decent boot on it this time, no blocks. And Minutemen will down the ball right around the 20-yard line. Curious to see that number 6 was running extremely close to the ball there. I was kind of almost thinking that he might accidentally bump it, which would, of course, count as a fumble on kick. So, but just good discipline there by Elkins. You don't need to touch that. You don't need to return it. Just let the Lewis County defense down it at the 20. There's 3 minutes, 45 seconds left in the half. Plenty of time to score if you're Elkins. You have all 3 timeouts, and really you have momentum, which I think is worth more than the timeouts itself.
Yeah.
And it'll be given to Robinson, and Robinson looking upfield, and he'll get around 12 out of that play, and he'll move the chains once again for the Tigers. The other thing is, if they can run efficiently to get enough 1st downs here, I mean, you got to stop the clock with some time to let them move the chains, or at least spot the ball, rather.
Yeah, I definitely think, like you said, momentum's a big thing. And honestly, if Elkins just keeps running the way they are right now, I definitely wouldn't call it timeout. I'd just keep letting the boys do their thing.
And our halftime show, where we're going to be able to watch the band perform. Sadly, to report that it will not have audio tonight. Some technical difficulties is prohibiting that. So you are going to get to watch our band perform. They've worked really hard on this new halftime show. They've learned a lot of interesting songs. I believe they've got "Creep" by Radiohead. Is that correct, or something like that? I don't know. I hear them playing during cross country practice. They sound pretty good, if you ask me. But you guys will at least get to watch them for our halftime show. And we've got Danner Groves running off the field at the last second. 1st and 10 with the Tigers with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go. And they're looking to pass again. slinging it deep. And that'll be knocked away there by Jones. The intended target was Beam.
Yeah, great defensive effort there by Eli Jones, because if that ball got by him, it was looking to be a touchdown there. And I definitely wasn't expecting Elkins to even really throw the ball at all this game, but they have twice now in this ball game, which makes it 4 on the season. So as of right now, 50% of their throws this season have been in this game.
That is a weird statistic. Either way, the incompletion will bring up second down. However, it also stops the clock. Some pre-snap motion going on in the backfield, and they're looking to pitch it to Beam. Beam picking up a block by Hatfield, and he's still rolling. He's got the first down, and there's a late flag there. Still awaiting the call. They're going to face mask on the defense, and that'll be an extra 15 yards or, yeah. Wait. I'm confused. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest. Ref gave the gesture for face mask. Maybe, I don't know. Either way, it's a 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Rolling out to pass yet again on this drive, and that one just bobbled by Robinson. He had room to run if he hauls that one in.
Yeah, definitely. If he hauled that in, that would have definitely could have possibly been dangerous there for the Minutemen. But as I mentioned about Elkins passing, this is the most time they've passed more times this game than they have all season.
Which it is early in the season, so maybe not quite the statistic, but with 2 minutes and 1 second left on the clock, they've got 2nd and 10. There's the snap, and it's another handoff to Beam. Beam picks up around half the yards. We'll give him 5 as he'll be marked down. And that'll bring up 3rd down here. If the Minutemen get a tackle for a loss or around the line of scrimmage, enough to where going for it on 4th down doesn't seem logical for the Elkins coordinator. I mean, and that would be one long field goal for a high school kicker. Not saying it's not possible, but they could get a stop here with minute 28 going in.
Yeah.
A stop here would be huge, nonetheless. Yeah. And it is a handoff, and he is definitely tackled shy of the yard to gain. I mean, ideally, you really can't afford to go down into the half more than what we already are.
Yeah.
So curious to know if they go for it, and if they do, it'll definitely be a major play for Lewis County to be able to get a stop.
Oh yeah, definitely be a big thing for this Lewis County Minutemen defense. They have not got a stop yet in this ball game on defense, so you just got to hope to see that they get a stop here on 4th down and get the ball with a minute and 14 to go.
Minutemen defense is prepared for them to go for it, and that's how they're going to line up. It's going to be a direct snap, looking like to the halfback, Jaden Hatfield. It will. Jaden Hatfield cutting inside, tackled, but it looks like he's got more than enough for the chains to move, and that'll be a 1st down as the clock is getting ready to wind down to around a minute left to go in this half. And now starting after they've spotted the ball, we've officially got 1 minute left to go in this first half of action. Can Lewis County use the clock to their advantage here, Brody? Elkins has the timeouts, but Lewis County could, a few stops here, and they could potentially get out of this thing without having to letting them score. That was another carry there for Hatfield as he gets a few on that one and bringing up second down.
Timeout Elkins.
Elkins using their second timeout now with 43 seconds left on the clock. And they're looking at a 2nd and 7. Their run game is explosive enough and it's consistent enough they could run the ball here. But I'm curious to know how much faith they have in their passing game. If you decide to pass here, worst thing that happens is an interception. But assuming they could take care of the ball, you're looking at the worst thing that happens is an incompletion.
Yeah.
Well, an incompletion can stop the clock. And it also allows you to maybe get to the sidelines a little bit easier and utilize that as a free timeout. But I just don't see the Elkins offense relying on a passing game that much when you just have 3 absolute monsters in the backfield.
Yeah.
I expect maybe another pitch or something to the outside, letting them get close to the out of bounds and then go from there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, when you have that 3-headed monster in the backfield, and as of right now, it's Lewis County's shown really no sign of being able to stop them. So, I mean, like you said, I would just keep rolling with it.
And they are passing. He's looking and waiting for the call if it's incomplete or catch. And I believe they're giving them that as a catch. And that was number 4 for Elkins. Xavier Workman there with his first snag of the night. First and goal now for Elkins. And they've got 36 seconds left on the clock. It's pitched to the outside. They've got Beam, and Beam takes it to the house yet again with just over 30 seconds left on the clock. Elkins punching a ticket once more, and that'll bring their lead to 41-3 and a point extra away from 42. Splitting the uprights there. Oh, not splitting the uprights. Man, I not have the vision there. I believe they're going to call that wide to the left. And that's going to leave the score at 3-41. Just under 30 seconds left. The Minutemen offense really just relying on maybe another big special teams play for enough time to score yet left is really just special teams. Can they make something happen on kickoff?
Yeah.
You might have time for a good return plus 2 plays. I believe Minutemen still have 1 timeout left if they choose to use it. Also wouldn't be surprised if they just let the clock run out and they go into halftime and they try to correct some things.
Yeah, definitely 30 seconds left on the clock, so they got to be wary of that. I mean, honestly, at this point in the game, really, you have not a whole lot to lose. I definitely could see Lewis County possibly airing it out here, possibly getting 4 birch or something like that.
Don't be surprised, though, if Elkins keeps this kick on the ground here with not much time to get up the field, really just trying to keep it out of their better returners' hands. Don't be surprised if they keep it on the ground and maybe try to get it to one of the guys that they're not worried about. And that one's going to roll back into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. So that leaves 31 seconds on the clock, and that gives them the ball at the 25. Just another reminder that the halftime show is not going to have audio due to technical difficulties tonight. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the technical difficulty is that we don't have a mic. And that is what it is. Yep. And Caden gives me the nod. but you guys still get the pleasure of watching our marching band. Uh, One of the pretty big band this year. I think we've got well over 100 members, if I am correct. Um, and this is their first time doing it in front of the home crowd, so that's just always something different. You know, away games are never quite the same. And it is Jones dropping back to pass and looking deep there for Moats, but not really anywhere to put the football, and that one will go incomplete. Only took 5 seconds off the clock, though, as we're now looking with 26 seconds left. I mean, I imagine they're going to go back to the air on second down. That didn't seem to bother them. And if they don't get a first down, then maybe just running it on third down, letting the clock bleed out, and going into halftime. And that might be what they're doing now because it's a handoff to Jones, and he'll be tackled around the line of scrimmage. And that brings up third down for the Minutemen offense. They are staying out. They might be planning on, and no, with 5 seconds left, they are going to let the clock run out. And this is going to be your score at halftime, folks. Your home team, the Lewis County Minutemen, have 3, and you're visiting Elkins Tigers, 41. Brady, real quick before the marching band takes over and we take a break, what was one of your big takeaways from this half?
I definitely think Elkins, they put on a running clinic. They did exactly what they came in here to do, and they really just put on a show in terms of running the football.
Yes, keys to win for that Elkins head coach was it always was to control that line of scrimmage, and that is what they did tonight. They've opened up some very large running holes, and when you have explosive runners like they do, they're taking advantage of it. Um, Curious to know maybe how Dustin Koger and the Minutemen defense tries to maybe critique some of their stuff to change that, or what happens, but definitely worth consideration. Also, one of the Elkins Coach Ware, one of his game goals was to play hard, and they've definitely done that. But the other one was leave healthy. And in the second half, with a comfortable lead, if you're Elkins, curious to know how much time that running back trio is going to get on the field with Hatfield, Robinson, and Beam. I wouldn't be surprised if even as early as the third quarter, you start seeing some new faces maybe getting some of the touches. Just it takes some of the wear and tear off of the 3 and give some of the younger guys some reps, see what they can do. If they choose to do that, or if they choose to keep playing hard and try to see if they can run it up, questions that can only be answered in the second half of play. With that being said, we are going to let you guys watch the halftime performance by your Lewis County Marching Band. Welcome back to the LCHS Athletics broadcast here. If you're just now joining us, I'm Zane Stewart, and alongside me is Brody Skinner. And we've got an interesting game going on as the road team, the Elkins Tigers, have had their way in the first half. Minutemen definitely looking to change that coming into the second half. Your score, Minutemen 3 and Elkins Tigers 41. A lot of interesting stuff happened from the first half. If you weren't with us, I'm just going to catch you up to speed real quick. Elkins has blocked 2 of our punts. Every Minutemen drive has ended in a punt or a field goal. The field goal was brought after Ian Brown had a kickoff return all the way to the 10-yard line. The Elkins offense has been pretty unstoppable in the first half as they have controlled the line of scrimmage and they have ran the ball well and a lot today. They've had a 3-headed monster really in this backfield, that being Robinson, Hatfield, and Beam. Lewis County needs to make some adjustments on both sides of the football if they want to get themselves back in this football game and at the very least making it competitive again. So curious to know what happens, and it is the Elkins Tigers giving the ball to the Minutemen to start the second half. Moats and Brown are the guys back deep here for the Minutemen, looking to return, and it's going in the air, and that's right to Ian Brown. Looking to go upfield, and absolutely no one blocking for him as 5 Elkins Tigers meet at Brown for the tackle, and a little shaken up on that one. Took a pretty good-sized hit there as he got it just past the 20-yard line.
Yeah, great special teams play there for Elkins, just not really allowing him to get anything after the recovery.
Really, with the exception of Ian Brown's breakout kickoff run, Elkins has been very good on special teams, blocking 2 punts, making 5 of 6 field goal or point afters, and they've had some decent returns of their own when Lewis is kicked off, so definitely not too bad. And they're handing the ball off to, I believe, Isaac Pickens, who will lunge ahead for a gain of around 3 or 4. And that'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Lewis County here on 2nd and 6. Jones under center.
And it's a handoff again to Pickens, and he tries to get the corner. It's just not there. Good discipline, good effort there by Elkins' defense, not letting him gain the corner. And that brings up down around a 3rd and 6. I think they're going to mark that he got to the back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, they're going to give him 3. My correction. 3rd and short here, and 3rd and very manageable. That's something that Lewis County has been looking for in the first half. They found it here, and they're going back to the run game. It's Moats, and he'll get a solid run, and that'll be a 1st down, Minutemen. Another handoff. It's to Leo this time. And Jones will get maybe 2 or 3 yards. No, correction. That was Isaac Pickens again, getting lots of carries earlier in the second half.
Second and 7 for the Minutemen.
Motion. It's Leo Jones in the backfield, and he's dropping back to pass now. He's looking for Jones. He's got it. That's a brotherly connection right there. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7, I believe, here for the Minutemen. 3rd and 5, correction. More pre-snap motion for Jones. This time it's a run play, and it's Moats who maybe musters out a couple. Either way, that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And the Minutemen are going to go for it here on 4th and 3.
Eli taking the snap. It's a handoff, and they've got contact wrapped up and dropped all in the backfield. Great effort there by the Elkins Tigers on their defense right there. I mean, turnover on downs is as good as a turnover anywhere else, even if it's not as flashy.
Yeah, it definitely looked like Elkins has been watching some film there. I mean, that went absolutely nowhere, and it seemed like they knew exactly where that ball was going to go.
And if you were just joining us here for the second half, you're going to get your first look of the Elkins offense. And man, have they been good tonight, scoring a touchdown on every drive. And it's a handoff, and it's to Robinson, and he's got room. He's at the 2nd level now and getting drugged down by Leo Jones. Waiting the spot of the ball, and they are going to give him a 1st and 10. And it's Robinson again, this time nowhere to go, and he's dropped in the backfield.
Yeah, it looked like a little trick play there, but the Minutemen, great play on defense there to stuff it for pretty much tackle for loss.
And great teamwork there by Lewis County defense. I mean, one person gets there, and then, you're thinking maybe they break the tackle. We've seen it in tonight's game so far, but I mean, just a swarm of defenders right there, and able to drop them for a tackle for loss. Bringing up a 2nd and 11 is huge. But definitely good discipline there by the Minutemen defense swarming to the football. And they're going back to the ground attack, this time with Beam. Beam's got some room to run, and he's stopped short of the yard to gain, but not by much. Don't be surprised if their coach gives them the signal to go for it on 4th down. Well, we just heard the winning numbers of the 50-50 drawing. If you guys are watching this, you're probably not in the 50-50 drawing, but maybe your friend won, who knows? And that'll be Robinson, who's running for several right there. I don't really know what the number exactly would be. First and goal here for Elkins, and they only need first and goal as that's Robinson taking it in, bearing another one.
Yeah, an untouched touchdown there. for Seth Robinson.
I mean, honestly, I don't know who I would give the hat to if I was having to say which one of these running backs for Elkins I thought did the best tonight. I mean, they've spread the ball so evenly, and at that point, you have to think that these guys like playing together. As we've seen in the NFL with Swift and Montgomery, they just work so well together, and they're not worried about taking each other's snaps. They enjoy playing together. And these guys, I mean, they're sharing the ball so much. You have to assume that they feel the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, definitely coming into a situation where all three of those running backs, they were transfers coming into this. So you got to think that definitely it must have been maybe a little bit more difficult at first, because most of them were star running backs on their own respective schools, and there really wasn't another running back really competing with them. And then now it's like you got these three great talented running backs here for Elkins that it just seems like it's been clicking. Uh, More likely it's going to be the third blowout for Elkins this season.
yeah, and when you bring in all this new talent, the question on the table always is are they going to work well together? Is there going to be a team chemistry? And so far this season, I haven't I haven't seen an Elkins team that has is lacking chemistry. I haven't seen an Elkins team that looks like they're made up of transfers. I see an Elkins team that looks like they've been playing ball together for a while.
Yeah.
These guys run well together, they play well together, and they're winning football games because of it.
What they're doing right now has been absolutely working for them. Definitely give props to their head coach, coming in here tonight and really doing what they came here to do tonight. And here comes the kickoff.
This one, yet again, fielded by Ian Brown, and he's looking to turn up. He can be dangerous when he gets open space, and he will be dropped there right after the 30. And we got a late flag coming in, several actually. Not sure on where this is going, but don't be surprised if you hear a personal foul. I mean, those were some late flags, and Elkins players with their hands in the air, and
Yeah, definitely hoping as we get later into the game that hopefully both teams bring out some of the younger players, the guys that are usually on the JV and don't play as much. I definitely hope to see some of them come out tonight. And who knows, maybe they could put on a show for us.
yeah, if you're the Minutemen in this situation, though, I don't know at what point you would put in your JV. I understand once you get so far behind and you realize you're not going to win the game, it's smart to reserve your safety of your players for a later game, your varsity players. But I believe that waiting for exactly what they're doing, but as I was saying just a second ago, um if you're loose county before you let any JV players in, you want to see your offense or defense. You want to see something really click. You want to see one drive where they look good, one rep that they can go back on film study and be proud of. Like, this is something we did well. Even if that is against Elkins JV, I feel like that's something that a team looks for and they need for motivation going into next week's. Um, Bringing that up, we'll be going live next Friday against East Fairmont at Lewis County High School. So definitely mark your calendars if you're enjoying the broadcast tonight and you don't necessarily want to bear the elements of what other could be happening. Maybe that's rain, maybe it's some sun, maybe it's just cold as it's getting into that fall season. We would appreciate if you guys tune in here on LCHS Athletics. And if you like some of our work, be sure to check out LCN Channel 3. You can find our newscasts. They get put out either weekly or bi-weekly. One just got released today or yesterday, I believe. If you go to podcast, you can watch your favorite members of the LCN production crew and getting in some interesting topics. Rumor has it Brody just shot one the other day, and that's Garrett Moats with some room turning upfield. And it's explosive play. Foot race. He'll be shoved out of bounds, but not after a 30-yard run. And that may have been the spark that this offense needed.
Yeah, that's definitely the click as Zane was talking about that this Minutemen team really needed there. That was the best play I've seen other than that early kickoff return for Ian Brown of the whole ball game.
But before we go right back into football, just if you're not all interested in anything we do, make sure to go check out both this channel and LCN Channel 3. Now, back to football here. If Minutemen score on this drive, what do you think that does in terms of Elkins leaving in their varsity? If Minutemen seem to catch their feet, do you believe Elkins is going to have to leave in their starters for a longer amount? Oh, and they
Eli Jones with the scramble. Great truck there by Jones. Really absorbed that hit.
took it forward with him, and I believe that's going to be another first down for the Minutemen, and they've got a spark now. Their offense is moving. As Brody was pointing out here just a second ago, we were looking at numbers and names, and Elkins JV might already be in. But then that would also beg the question, if Minutemen do score on this drive, does that force Elkins to put back in some of their players, such as Hatfield or Beam or any of those defensive guys who, I mean, it's high school football. Everybody plays both ways. Most people play both ways. Does that force you to put someone back in, or are you still comfortable if you're Elkins? That's a question we'll see answered later in the game.
2nd and 8 for the Lewis County Minutemen.
As for right now, they're running the same little trick there with the quarterback keeper, and Eli's got room. Other side from the opposite hash mark, and Eli Jones with back-to-back first downs.
And something I haven't really seen often this season from this Minutemen team, the read option. And these past couple of plays, it's actually kind of working for them. You know, it's definitely been throwing the defense a little bit off, and it's creating some big running lanes for Eli Jones. And I'm going to get a little off topic here, but I just want to give good luck to the cross country team as they are traveling to Apple Valley tomorrow for the Apple Valley Invitational.
Bright and early.
Bright and early.
But that's the way you do it in cross country, I suppose. And Garrett Moats with some room on the outside, and he's drugged down around the first down marker. I believe that's going to set up a 2nd and 1. And it will.
Second and 1 here. Lewis County is getting closer and closer.
This time it's a handoff to Jones, and he's stuffed at the line.
It's going to be 3rd and short, I believe. Minutemen have yet to score a touchdown in this ball game, so hopefully we can see something of that nature on this drive here.
And I believe they did give him the first down, and that'll put him at first and goal.
1st and goal for the Minutemen.
And it's a handoff to Moats. Moats met at the line of scrimmage there. Not a lot of running room. Good stands here by the Elkins defense the past 2 plays. Obviously, they gave up the first down 2 plays ago, but at 2nd and 1, that's almost inevitable. Jones this time keeps it himself. He's rolling. He's going to take it himself. And he takes it into the end zone for the first touchdown tonight for the Minutemen. Minutemen finally find the end zone, and they are extending their score. Decreasing the deficit would have been the better term to use there.
Yeah.
And we're looking at a 9-48 ball game. Extra point pending.
Yeah, great scrambling touchdown there for Eli Jones. I mean, like I said earlier, the read option was working and they really stuck with it, and it led to that Minutemen touchdown there.
Snaps clean, and he'll split the uprights for the Minutemen. Your score now with 1:13 seconds left in the third quarter. Minutemen 10, Tigers 48. And the student section is back to singing the fight song, rather, not alma mater, but so maybe they've got some revived spirits down there, and not quite back to having a ball game yet, as there's still 38 points separating the two teams, but trending in that right direction.
Yeah, definitely it's got to get that band and student section at least something to cheer for tonight for the Lewis County Minutemen, as that's the first touchdown we've seen from the Lewis County Minutemen.
Birdie, I've got to ask you a very serious question. As a Carolina Panthers fan, how are you feeling about this year's team?
Well, I definitely do have high hopes for this team. Unfortunately, oh, and that's a bad pickup. We'll see what he can do with it after the fumble, and he'll get it up to about the 25. But as we were talking about the Carolina Panthers, I definitely do have high hopes for this team. Like I said, unfortunately, we got killed by the Jaguars. But at the end of the day, I do think it had to do with a little bit of first game jitters. And I think that this is really one of the best teams, I think, heading into the season that we've had in quite some time. So I definitely think in the near games to come, we just got to fix some things and we can definitely compete in the NFC South.
For the sake of Tedero McMillan on my fantasy football team, T-Mac, if you will, I hope you guys are good as well.
Oh, yes. He was a great draft pickup for Bryce Young to throw to, and hopefully he has a pretty good season in his rookie season this year.
I say that, and I believe it is worth mentioning that I play the Birdie Skinner, the man I'm sitting right beside, in fantasy football this week. So we try not letting that bad blood get between us, but I think we can manage.
Yeah, definitely the game to watch in our 14-man fantasy league this weekend.
And with that buzzer, we are going to be brought to the fourth quarter. 12 minutes left in this ball game tonight. Your score, Minutemen 10, Elkins Tigers 48.
and 10. 2nd and 4, sorry. And we have a flag here. And it will be a holding against Elkins. So that will move them back a good amount of yards, and it will still be 2nd down, I believe. So 2nd and 14. So they were brought back 10 yards due to the holding.
Can the Minutemen defense generate a stop here is the real question. Definitely some new faces in for the Elkins offense. Now taking under center the quarterback, number 9, Carter Alfred. And he's rolling out already.
Hopefully force Elkins to punt, which they have not punted yet this season. So maybe we'll see it tonight. We shall see.
Well, they're 1 down away from getting just that done, as it's back to Alfred under center, and he makes the pitch to Terrence Carter. And I believe we're going to see it. I believe for the first time this season, this is Elkins' punt team coming out.
Possibly, yeah. It does look like a punt to me.
Unless they decide to fake it, which would be really funny.
And a bobbled punt there. He's going to be able to get it off before the Minutemen get back there. That's going to roll to around the 47-ish yard line.
So the Minutemen starting in enemy territory. It's where you want to be if you're the Minutemen.
Yeah, definitely. Great job there by the Minutemen to force that bobbled snap there.
And with 9 minutes and 19 seconds left in the 4th quarter of the Week 3 matchup, Elkins Tigers have officially punted.
Yes, for the first time this season, they have punted.
And following suit of Elkins' choice, we have pulled our varsity, and the Minutemen are now looking at your new faces, your JV, not JV, sorry, they're playing in a varsity game, but the second string, some more depth here. And the first handoff will go for about 3 or 4 yards. So if you're wondering who some of these people are, your quarterback right now for the Minutemen, number 9, Zeke Brown. And as they get the ball, I will tell you some other important names. But in the backfield, number 20, Jackson Butcher, I believe, had the carry last play. Both those guys I just named are freshmen.
Yes, they are.
So maybe some potentially bright futures for the Minutemen and football. They've definitely got some talent at the younger guys. I'm curious to see them getting involved and excited to see them right now on what they're doing. And as for now, we're going to give you some Metro News score updates from all around AAA football. In the first quarter, it is tied between Brooke and Cambridge, Ohio. So that game is taking place out of state. In the 4th quarter now, Bridgeport against East Fairmont. East Fairmont, the opponent that this Minutemen team will face at home next week. Bridgeport's up 49-7. Quad A Preston is playing Fairmont Senior, and Fairmont Senior took care of business in that one, winning 63-13. Greenbrier East and Allegheny, Virginia. well, Allegheny from Virginia. They're in the third quarter with Allegheny from Virginia. They're up 13-7. Nitro and Herbert Hoover played, and that could be one heck of a game. And Zeke's got Brown, and one heck of a block. Brown could be gone, and that's Zeke Brown.
Touchdowns, Brown.
And that's Ian Brown's little brother and Zeke Brown there calling the house from 40 yards back. Nice play there by the youngster Zeke Brown, a true freshman, because apparently in high school you can take COVID year now. I'm kidding. That's not true, but he is a freshman nonetheless.
Yes, true freshman indeed. And as I mentioned, I mean, the read options are working. I mean, that's like what, the fourth time the Minutemen have ran the read option, and it's just generating very great good plays for the Minutemen.
I agree. And as I was saying, like that Nitro Herbert Hoover game could be very close. And that was the Metro News Class AAA game of the week. And it's shaping out to be just quite that. In the third quarter, Herbert Hoover has the slight edge, winning 12-7. And if we're going to John Marshall, they're playing Bel Air from Ohio. And John Marshall in the third quarter also has the edge. They're up 20-14. Kaiser's playing RCB. Both teams are former opponents of Lewis County. Robert C. Byrd beat Lewis County in week 1, and Kaiser and beat Lewis County in week 2, and they got it called back off of a penalty.
Yeah,
and running the same play, and there is another penalty again.
Yeah, unfortunate there. It was a great run there by Zeke Brown. Just unfortunate that went the other way.
Your other scores, Ripley is up 38-0, and they're still in the second quarter. Philip Barber is up 13-7 over North Marion, and that's a fourth quarter game right now. In the third quarter, Princeton is up 48-14. Nicholas County is up 38-8 over Shady Springs in the third quarter. And finally, Winfield is up 28-0 in the third over South Charleston.
Yep, that concludes really all of your AAA games in week 3 as of right now. And obviously we have our game that's as of right now 48-10 Elkins.
Fourth quarter with just over 7 minutes left. And those penalties were on Elkins as that moves the Minutemen offense inside the red zone. Well, this past Tuesday was a pretty good day for Lewis County High School athletics as the cross-country team actually won the Stonewall Jackson Invitational, and Brody Skinner had won the race, as well as Onabar finishing third, myself, Zane Stewart, finishing sixth, and Carter Holden finishing 10th, as well as volleyball winning both of their matches that night, and I believe soccer winning over Philip Barber, and Zeke Brown touchdown pass. What a catch there. It's Landry Coger coming down with the grab. Great throw, great pass. Maybe the future's bright for this Minutemen team.
Yep.
As Zeke Brown and Landry Coger are able to connect there. That's a touchdown for your Minutemen. That one's not getting called back.
And no flag there, so the touchdown will stand this time.
That was a freshman combo. Look forward to more of that in the years to come.
But yeah, on Tuesday, as Zane mentioned, the soccer team, they beat the boys soccer team, beat Philip Barber 5-0. So this past Tuesday was a very, very strong showing for Lewis County athletics. Looks like they're going for two here.
And Zeke Brown, and he's rolling out to his right.
There's that read option and not touchdown. Sorry, 2-point conversion. Got a little too ahead of myself.
And that puts your score at Lewis County Minutemen 18 and the visiting Elkin Tigers 48. Well, a little bit of life here sparked for the Lewis County Minutemen as that touchdown pass narrows the lead to, I believe, 29 points now. Or, no, correction, that is 1848. 30 points exactly. So, if you're wondering how I messed up 48 and 18, on the scoreboard at Lewis County High School, it looks like it says 19, but it is not. But no, they're definitely getting some key things to look back on and see during film and have some good things to look at.
Yeah. Definitely a positive drive there for the Minutemen to look back on. Not only the touchdown, well, technically got the touchdown twice with the flag getting thrown, but also that 2-point conversion there. So definitely great to see those young guys go to work. And Elkins will return the kickoff, and he's got green grass in front of him.
And that's Aiden Oldacre who finally gets a hand on him, and they'll bring him down, but not before he crosses the 40-yard line. And that was number 27, Terrence Carter again there for the Elkins Tigers, and he's got some speed on him. Worth noting, Terrence Carter's only a sophomore, so he's got some days ahead of him wearing the black and orange here for the Elkins Tigers. And the snap, they're pitching it. It's not Terrence Carter, that's Tristan Watson, also a sophomore there. He's sporting the number 22, though. And that tackle in the backfield will now make it second down and what appears to be 13. Pre-snap motion is Terrence Carter, but they will hand it back to Tristan Watson, I believe. With them running the ball, the clock will continue to wind, and we are just over 4 minutes now left with tonight's game. Will be enough for a first down for Elkins there. That moves the chains as they were backed all the way up to around a 3rd and 9. That will give them a fresh set of downs as we are around 30.5 minutes left in this week 3 matchup between the Minutemen and the Tigers. As we get ready to finish this evening's game, I'd like to give a special thanks to the 12th man on the field, the cheerleaders, led by Darren Bragg. The JROTC color guard with a presentation of the flags, and I believe they are responsible for spray painting the LC at the middle of the field, so definitely a huge shout out to that. The fans for attending this evening's game. There's a lot of people in the student section tonight. Several fans feeling that with this being the home opener, even though it is week 3, pretty good turnout here at Lewis County High School, and means a lot to the players and means a lot to the county to come out and just support the football team. So we thank everybody in attendance. We also like to thank everybody who was in charge and everybody who helped with the LCN production crew. As always, we're led by Miss Leslie White. But we were also advised and watched over by Miss Christy Liebarger, who had to step in for the first portion of the game, as Miss White got here a little bit afterwards. He wasn't on the mic today, but the biggest thank you to Mr. Caden Smith. He was running the production truck stuff for the first half, and for the second half, he's been up working the camera on top of the press box, and he actually switched roles with a true freshman, if you will, Mr. Grady Helmick here, who's sitting beside me right now. And he's running the production truck overlays right now, but he was doing the camera work in the first. And if any of you guys were here for the beginning and you saw that nice camera shot of the team running out onto the field, you have Mr. Grady Helmick to thank for that. Also people that have pitched in and helped a little bit here and there. We have Isabella Cedeno and Kara Detterman, who both pitched in their own ways. And as always, a huge thank you to my partner, Brody Skinner. I'm Zane Stewart, and we have just under a minute and a half left to go in tonight's game. If you've enjoyed the broadcast, be sure to spread the word and joining us next week as we are going to be back broadcasting Friday Night Lights as the Minutemen take on the East Fairmont Bees. Elkins running to the outside, bouncing, trying to keep it in play. He'll be wrapped down, but not till after they convert on fourth down. With less than a minute left to go, I don't expect any timeouts to be called. I'd say the game will end with Elkins' possession. But yeah, if you like this, then make sure to go check out LCN Channel 3. We have a lot of interesting stuff. Our podcasts do all sorts of varieties, things from serial ratings to Disney villains, to March Madness and college football. It has something in there for everybody, so be sure to check that out, as well as our weekly newscast and just special segments that we throw out from time to time. It's a lot of fun, and we appreciate it from the members of the LCN crew. And with 10 seconds left on the clock, that'll be time for one more snap from the Elkins Tigers if they choose to. And they're lined up and looking like they will. With 3 seconds left, they snap the ball, and it was a handoff. Time expires, flags thrown. Player is not tackled. He's being pushed towards the goal line, but he'll be taken down around the 5-yard line. Don't know what the flag's on. If it is on the Minutemen, they could choose to accept it, and I believe that would give them an extra play. But I believe that was declined, and that will be the ball game. Minutemen a little shaken up after that play. But again, thank you for all who are watching, and we'll be back next week as the Minutemen take on the East Fairmont Breeze. But for now, I'm Zane Stewart.
And I'm Brody Skinner.
And we're signing off.